1969 Pontiac LeMans, 77,000 original mile California car, Warwick blue, parchment vinyl top, dark blue interior. Okay, we'll take a walk around the car and look at the exterior, the trim, the paint, and the condition, everything. It has 15x7 Rally 2s, which are from a later model car with radial tires on it. Remote mirror, as you can see, the paint's nice and shiny, panels are very straight, very solid car. Vinyl top appears to be original. Most replacement tops have a felt backing. This one does not. You can tell, it seems just from the age and some of the spots that it's probably an original top, but in very good condition. Take a look here at the quarter panel, driver's side. You'll see a reproduction rear wing. It's was available from the dealer in 1969. They would have put it on any A-body car, but this one was added when it was painted a couple of years ago. Bumper and trim looks nice. You can tell the taillight bezels, no pitting, no cracks in the lenses, no dents in the bumper, no scrapes, scuffs. Hopefully the lighting's not too bad with the sun. And we'll come around here to the passenger side quarter panel. Pull out a little bit. We'll take another walk around too, just looking at a few items up a little bit closer. Glass in the car is excellent. Front and rear windshield were replaced. Side glass is all original. Trim on the car, some of the emblems have been replaced. The rocker moldings are original. Wheel well trim is original. A close-up of the Rally 2s. They've been restored nicely. Have the correct lug nuts and caps. Remote mirror is in excellent condition. Chrome is excellent. No pitting. No scratches. You can see the glass is clear. There's no fogging, no moisture damage or anything like that. Also appears that a lot of the weather stripping on the car is original, which again is a testament to the condition of the car and how well it was kept over the years. These rear corners on A-bodies are always notorious for having rust work or repair. This one is clean and solid. You can even tell the rear package tray is not faded or stained from any moisture leaking or warped. It's in real nice condition. These exhaust tips are correctly installed. Car has had dual exhaust added to it with correct factory mounts. Just another shot of one of the Rally 2 wheels on the rear of the car. Again, they're all in similar condition. Not sure if you can really see this, but the inner fender wells are all clean, solid, no evidence of any rust repair or replacement, panel replacement. All the panels have the codes on the car, they're original to the car. Door handles are all clean, no pitting, no rusting, no scratches, scrapes, everything works correctly. The car has a matching passenger side mirror that matches the mirror on the driver's side, which is remote controlled. This one is not remote, it's a standard mirror, but matches the correct remote mirror on the driver's side. Antenna is the correct antenna, correct mass, base, and nut. Quite often these are replacement ones or non-original. Up at the front grille and bumper, the grills are in nice shape. There is a little bit of fading from over the years in terms of the finish on the grille itself. The emblem's in really good shape. Headlights are nice. A couple people have asked about the body condition as far as door dings and dents. As you can see from the reflection, panels are extremely straight, no dings, dents, or anything like that. The car was in excellent condition, and as I mentioned, was painted a couple of years ago. This is a shot of the driver's side. Same thing. Very straight panels. Looks good. Shot of the valence panel. A lot of times these are bent up. People run up on parking curbs, run over things, and they get smashed up. This is nice and straight. Okay, we're going to open up the door, look at some of the interior things, and operate some of the options. The car had a nice set of options from the factory. I do have the PHS, but it has had quite a few options added to the car by the original and second owner. So we'll see how this goes. Oh, by the way, a lot of Pontiac people remember that sound. As I mentioned, everything on this car works flawlessly. And as I shut the door, you can tell how solid the weather seals, and I mean, the car is almost like it just rolled off the showroom lot. Shot a driver's side door panel inside. You'll see the power window controls and the door lock control and the remote mirror control. Everything is great, no pitting. The door locks, originally the owner installed the vacuum operated, which was correct for '69. Did not like the way they operated, went back in 1970 and had the electric door locks installed on the car. And as you can tell, you can see they work great. All the power windows go up and down nice and easy. They work like they should. I'll try the passenger side one. They all work good. Rears work just as well. Notice the cruise control and tilt, which were added to this car. They are the correct factory options and installed the way the factory would have installed them. Might be kind of hard to see, but here's the driver's side power seat control. The power seat tracks were added to the car. It has the correct tracks, which you will see in the auction pictures. Has the correct lever. Does not have the bezel that fits over the hole. These were put in, evidently they couldn't get them or decided not to put them on, but the seat moves good forward and backward. Like it should. Camera's having a hard time focusing through the lens for the rally gauges. These are original to the car and on the PHS form. I'm going to try to start the motor so you can see the dials move and the gauges move. You can see oil pressure jumps up. You probably won't see much in terms of the temperature because it's pretty cool here today and the motor's not been running that long. And it's on fast idle. You kick down just like it's supposed to in 1969 to smooth idle. There's the speedometer showing 77,687 miles. There's the tachometer. Set the fast idle on, it's still cold yet. Kick the fast idle off. Sits there and idles. This is the factory AM/FM stereo. Once again, there are pictures of this in the auction, probably better than what the camera can do with the lighting conditions. What I wanted to do here though was just show you once again that all these options in the car work. The car has 2 rear speakers and 1 front speaker. Plays excellent. Over here is the reverb switch. I'll flip the reverb on. You can tell the reverb is working, even with the stereo. And some people are going to wonder how you could get reverb with a stereo. Well, you couldn't originally in 1969. They wouldn't offer both, but second owner of the car added these. He owns an electronic manufacturing company. He used the factory wiring and figured out a way to be able to run the stereo radio with stereo speakers and the reverb. Also, you'll notice over here is the defogger switch. You probably can't hear that right now, but the defogger is running in the back. And again, the radio sounds pretty good for 1969. And next, we'll go down to the 8-track control. That's the 8-track player. Works. Got a tape here. I'll plug in. There's volume control. Program. As you can tell, works great. Also, this does play through the reverb. There you go. Reverb's on with the 8-track. And turn the reverb off. You can tell that's working. Pull the 8-track out. And that shows just about all the options in the interior. Just wanted to show a couple other things on the interior. Of course, you're not going to be able to really tell this. You'll just have to take my word for it. The air conditioning works great. Had an NOS compressor put on the car and was recharged with R12. Go into the AC controls, fan switch, fan motor, speeds change from low all 4 speeds to high, and it's blowing cold air right now. But again, you can't really tell that from the video. Kind of hard to tell from this angle and with the lighting, but the dash on this car is absolutely perfect. It's soft and supple, no cracks, no scratches, no marred areas on it at all. Again, I bought the car, I talked to the second owner, original owner has since passed, and he told me that he had the car in a warehouse the entire time he owned it. It never sat outside. The lighting here is a little tricky. What I wanted to show here again was the rear package tray, how clean, straight, no damage, no water damage, no buckling in the tray from any moisture or anything like that. And you can also see the rear defogger, I'm sorry. Car has the standard seat belts. These are the original. In fact, over here, you probably won't be able to read this, but there is, it's kind of hard to see, one of the original tags for the seat belts with the date code on it. Now we're looking in the engine compartment. Mostly original. It's obviously had a light restoration in terms of refinishing parts the correct color and cleaning and so on and so forth. You know, spring ring battery cables. You will note the cruise control. It is the factory correct cruise control, installed with all correct factory hardware. The power front disc brakes were also added to the car. And you can see some chrome valve cleaner covers and a chrome air cleaner cover. This was added when the correct 69 4-barrel intake and the NOS Quadrajet service replacement carburetor replaced the 2-barrel that was original to the car. Everything else, all the codes, numbers, and everything on the motor are correct for a 352 barrel. Power steering. Let's see if we can find something else over here. Air conditioning, obviously, we talked about that already. Everything is in really nice condition. This is not obviously a concours restored car, but a very clean and very nice and presentable driver type engine compartment. Just a shot of the radiator shroud and correct radiator cap, and a little bit of the front panel here. See the condition. Again, the car has never been in any accidents. It's had its fair share of door dings, I'm sure, and parking lot dents. I talked to the guy who painted the car. He's a good friend of mine, and he said it was the most rust-free car he had ever worked on, but did have some signs of, you know, parking lot dings and door dings that had been worked on before. Here's a shot of the Quadrajet, and as you can see, all the linkages, hardware for the cruise and everything is all correct. More detail, engine compartment. Here's a shot, motor's running, and you hear, listen for any abnormal engine noises. You don't hear them. Very quiet. Yeah, I got a little bit of, sound like a little bit of a belt that's a little dry. The car hasn't been driven a little bit. Compressor spinning. Engine idles nice and smooth. No vibration. See if I can, I don't have anybody here. I can't really get to the carburetor. Let's see if I can switch hands here. Give it a little rev. Nothing's changed. Sounds like it did in 1969. Alright, we'll walk back to the back of the car. Just listen from back here. There's a nice sound to it. Idle's nice and smooth. If I had somebody else here to help me, I'd have them rev up the motor a little bit, but don't really have any help right now. Okay, now that I've showed you all the good stuff, as I mentioned in my ad, there are some flaws in the paint. Car looks great. As you can tell in the video and the pictures, as a driver, it looks absolutely great. However, it's not a show paint job. Most of my cars are that way, so I've been a little disappointed. So what I'm going to do now is show you all the bad stuff. And I've got my little spot rot magnet here. Also, we'll kind of go over the car. and show you how solid this car is. There's very, very, very little filler in the car at all. I'm not sure how well this is going to show up on the camera, but there is what appears to me to be some kind of reaction going on underneath the paint between the new and the old paint. As I mentioned in the ad, the car should have been stripped to bare metal and painted, but it wasn't. The previous owner decided not to do that. What I did want to show, though, if I'm not even sure this is showing up, was how solid this is. This magnet has a full pull of about 10. There's an 8 right there. And I was concerned there was some kind of body work here, but it seems there's a 10 there. Down in here, 10. And as we get down in this area, there's a 10. I have found that this one is not, there is a little bit of filler. You see it's getting a little weaker right there. Right in here, I'm not getting hardly a pull at all. But if I go all the way down the bottom of the rocker panel, I'm getting a full 10. And you can hear, a lot of times when you tap on a car, you can tell if it's full of mud somewhere. It'll be a real thick sound. But you can tell down here in the bottom, getting a full off the gauge pull. But this area right around in here has some filler. Looks fine, nice and straight, nothing's popping through, but there's definitely a little bit there. As you can see, I get up higher and it starts getting nice and solid again. Getting over off the gauge there. Back here, off the gauge. The rest of the car I've already gone through. You can tell, it's a nice solid car. Again, this area right here is the worst spot, but it seems to be very solid. This doesn't appear to be any bad body work there. Appears evidently there's some kind of primer or something that's not reacted correctly. Again, just trying to show the area in the shade. Maybe it'll show up on camera a little bit better where there's some issues going on with the paint. Again, I think it's something where the old bodywork or primer or paint underneath has reacted with something on top. I put my magnet on there and it's very solid. There's no filler in that area, or if there is, it's very, very, very thin. It's not like it's been filled in from a dent or anything like that. Okay, what we're going to look at here is the typical A-body problems. Front of the fenders, front of the doors, typically are full of mud. You hear that? That's tinny sound. It means it's nice and solid. And again, I'm off the gauge on my little magnet here. Nice and solid. You can just hear when the magnet hits the metal that there's no filler in the car there. Same thing for the door. Off the gauge. Off the gauge. This car's, the paint on the car now is over the original paint, so there is some thickness there. But as far as any filler in the car, it's very, very solid. We'll go to the back of the doors. I've gone all over the car, all over the bottom, the rocker panels. Same thing, full pull on the magnet all the way to the end of the scale. Not sure if this will show up, but there again is another little spot here. It looks like there's something reacting under the paint. Put my magnet up here. There appears to be just a tad bit of filler right in here on the very edge. You get a little higher, and I'm almost off the scale. I go down here, I'm off the scale, so I'm getting a good strong pull all the way in the bottom. But right in here, it seems like just this little area right here might have been a door ding or something there. Said the rest of the door back here pretty solid. Bottoms of the doors, the seams in all the doors are solid. They're nice and clean and crisp. Rocker, again, you can feel that and hear that. Can't feel it, but you can hear it. How solid this is in here. Same thing going over the wheel wells. These cars typically, sometimes if they're a northern car, these wheel wells will rot out. Getting good pull on this magnet, full all the way off the scale there. And I'm going real quick. I mean, if you really want to get the maximum, you'd go slow and pull it like that. But I'm just trying to show that the car is a very solid car. I was hoping to show some of the imperfections up here in the hood, but they're very hard to see. You got to have the exact right lighting, and you got to get down and look at an angle, and you can see the little pimple stuff. It's not trash. It kind of looks like dirt that got into paint, but it's not. Again, I think it's condition. The old paint underneath is just falling apart, and it should have been stripped to bare metal a couple years ago when it was repainted, and they didn't. And that's what disappoints me most about the car, is the rest of the car is top quality, really very, very nice, and the paint really looks good except for a few spots. All right, I parked the car in the shade to see if I could get these little imperfections to show up, and I'm afraid it's not, but maybe you can tell if you look at the reflection of the tree. You can see how it's sharp and crisp in some areas, and then it's a little dull in others. That's the areas that have some issues going on. Again, I'm very picky, so it's very hard to see. I think in this shot is a good example. The car has a clear coat called ice blue on it, and it has a little bit of metallic. You can see a little bit of blue sparkles. When the light hits it in a certain way, you can see those sparkles. It's not factory original, the color is, but the clear coat previous owner liked that, so that's what he had done when he had the car painted. Alright, we'll take a little spin around the neighborhood. Always amused at people shooting video and driving at the same time. Wondered what would happen if they ever got in an accident. If they would be in trouble. But anyways, car drives nice and smooth and straight. You know, again, we're just going around the neighborhood, not getting out on the highway or anything, but you know, somebody's pulling out of the driveway in front of me, looks like, so we'll wait up. But just wanted to kind of give you a feel for what it's like to sit behind the wheel and drive it. Again, no funny sounds. The chassis of the car is all original. It does have it's 1970 sway bar, rear control arms on the back. Other than that, it's all original. It's in great working shape. No funny noises. Stops good. Steers straight, like it should. Car was undercoated originally, so you know it's not the prettiest thing underneath, but it's solid. You know, again, it's not a rust bucket. No. All the panels in the car are original to the car. And being from California, you would expect it to be a solid car. It stops good. No funny noises, doesn't pull. It's what you would expect from a car in 1969 when you drove it off the lot. Just another quick shot of the rally gauges after we drove it a little bit. See the oil pressure is right where it should be. Temperature gauge is moved up a little bit. Car does not run hot. Obviously, it's low on gas. And car sitting here in drive, idling, nice and steady and smooth. Engine's in great condition. Our last walk around, we just got finished driving. Engine's idling. It's quiet, just like it should be. I keep saying that, but if you've ever owned one of these cars when they were low mileage and fairly new, they have a distinctive sound and feel to them, and this one has that, just like it was when the day you bought it.